Hi, I'm Steve Johnson, SJConnects, Strategic Communications. We are spending a lot more time communicating through technology these days, but that doesn't change how we need to communicate to be effective. Zoom fatigue is no different than conference call fatigue 10 years ago. So to be an effective communicator, you need to be concise with your message. This is something I coach all the time. I basically tell people, whether you're going to a meeting or having a hallway conversation or you're on the stage at Chicago Ideas Week, if you had to go out there and say one sentence, just one sentence, and walk away, what would that sentence be? How important would the word choice be in constructing that sentence? And I was reminded of this strategy of thinking about what that one sentence is last week, listening to a podcast, Radio Lab, and they were talking about a Nobel Prize-winning scientist, Richard Feynman, very famous scientist who in the 60s was starting to teach a class at Caltech. And he basically started it by saying, if you could boil everything down to one sentence, if there's going to be a cataclysm in this world and you had to boil down one sentence that you could pass on to whomever comes next, he said something about the atom. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know exactly what he said.
All things are made of atoms, little particles that move around in perpetual motion, attracting each other when they are a little distance apart, but repelling upon being squeezed into one another.
Now that one sentence carries a lot of weight. In fact, he would say things like, in that one sentence, you'll see there's an enormous amount of information. I think about that a lot too. How important are the words that you're going to be in there? But it's also a 30-word sentence, all right? I want to be even more concise. I can do that, even with this sentence, and I don't think, not being a scientist, lose too much meaning, but being concise is important.
All things are made of atoms in perpetual motion that attract each other when apart, but repel being squeezed together.
Now, he might argue with me about the exact content of that sentence, but I basically took the bulk of the information and got it down to 20 words. And that's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to repeat so that your audience remembers it. So think about what it is that you're trying to get across. Think about the distractions or the inanimate objects that are helping us communicate right now. Take the time and think, what's that one sentence? Because being concise is critical to being effective in your communications.